I've never done this before. Hi guys, this is Heidi and you're watching HeidiKMakeup. I'm doing a Pan That palette this year. First off, I want to talk a little bit about the background and the lighting. I actually think the lighting is working out pretty well. My husband kind of moved our house around, so this is probably not going to be the permanent place where I film, but right now it was the easiest place for me to film and have light from the window. So the lighting is really nice. The background, not so much. There's all the cords and stuff. I'm sorry, but we'll get through it. But I wanted to film for you guys a Pan That palette this year for the year of 2016. Last year I watched a lot of people do it. If you haven't heard of Pan That palette, it was started by Amber F, who I will link down below. 2 years ago she decided that she was going to completely finish an entire eyeshadow palette. Clear out all of the eyeshadows from her Naked palette from Urban Decay. And since then it's kind of taken on a life of its own. A whole bunch of people decided to join her, and last year I think everyone was doing the Lorac Pro palette. I didn't have either of those palettes because I had passed along my Urban Decay palette, and Lorac is not cruelty free, so I didn't happen to have that one. Last year I was just kind of starting to dip my toe in the water with panning and the panning community. And this year, I think I'm ready to do it, kind of. So I'm going to be doing kind of a project parent company this year, which I will talk about in a separate video eventually if I get to it. But I'm trying to get everything out of my collection that is owned by parent companies that test on animals. So I figured that I would take this palette that I have, which is a mostly full palette. This is by Tarte. Tarte is owned by a parent company that tests. This was a seasonal palette. This is the Tarte Carried Away Palette that I think was 2 Christmases ago, maybe 3 Christmases, well, 3 Christmases ago now, I think. And my goal is going to be a little bit different for this. I don't necessarily want to finish this entire palette. I know myself very well, and I don't want to be committed to just one single eyeshadow palette for the entire year. My goal is actually just to hit pan on all of these shades, and then at the end of 2016, I'm going to clear out everything from my collection that is owned by a parent company that tests, just to get it out. But I want to make sure that I'm getting use out of my products first. So let's take a look at what we've got going on in here. It came with like a little sheet or whatever that I taped to the top because that's the only thing that has the shade names on it. So I taped that there so I would know the names of the shades. And this is what the palette looks like. Let's see, it's 4 times 6, so we've got 24 eyeshadows in there. This one right here, which is Napa Grapes, I believe, broke and shattered and it's no longer there. And then the only other one that I've hit pan on is this one right here, which is Georgia Peach. And it's actually really great. I've been using it to set my under eye area, so that's awesome. Last year I had actually 2 palettes that I wanted to hit pan on every shade in. I don't think I recorded that process. They were smaller palettes, but one of them was a Tarte palette. I did hit pan on every shade, but most of them were like teeny tiny little bits of pan because frankly, I don't like Tarte eyeshadows very much. I just don't think that they're very good quality. I would much rather be using Urban Decay or Too Faced. So my goal is to hit pan in every single one of these shades. So I've already hit pan in Georgia Peach and I don't have that one anymore. So I've got 22 shades in here. So that's 2 shades a month that I want to hit pan on. We'll see how I do because I don't plan on using this every day. I'll probably use it every other day and maybe, you know, towards the end of the year get a little bit more committed to it. Sorry if the lighting or the quality just changed. My battery died on my other camera and I don't have another charged battery. So I'm using a camera that doesn't have a flip screen. Forgive me, I hope that it works just fine. But what I was saying is I want to hit pan on every single one of these shades. Most of them are shimmery. I've got kind of 2 quads here that are kind of neutrally shades, but even the like really bright colors like this is not that pigmented. They're just not, I mean, I guess they are, but they're, I don't know. I just find that they fade. So I'm not going to make myself use this every day since I already know I don't like it. But these are really big, pans. It's a lot of product. So Tarte eyeshadows are kind of a beast to get through, so we'll see how we do with that. But since this was supposed to have 24 eyeshadows in it and it only has 23, I wanted to throw in just one more shadow. And this one is also owned by a parent company that tests. This is from my Urban Decay Feminine Palette, which I kind of was working on towards the end of last year. You can see I've hit pan in every single shade except for this one, which is Gunmetal, which is going to be the first shadow that I'm really focusing on for this month to try and hit pan in Gunmetal. So basically, to get through both of these hitting pan, I need to do it a shadow every 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. And along with that, I also have a blush palette that I really want to work on before I clear it out of my stash, and that is the Nars Danmari palette. I was working on this one a little bit last year as well, and I cleared out the bronzer and the highlighter, but the blushes not so much. So for the next, I don't know, season, I'm going to be working on Orgasm right here, which is their famous blush. I like it a lot. I'm wearing it today. I have no idea if you can see that because I don't have a flip screen. But the way I figured is I can hit pan on each one of these per season, hopefully. This might be a little bit trickier because I find that NARS blushes can kind of give me a little bit of breakouts, like I have a little bit of breakouts on my cheeks. So I won't necessarily wear this every day, but I just, at the end of the year, whether these are done or not, well, they're not going to be done, but whether they have hit pan on everything or not, I'm going to be getting rid of them because they're owned by parent companies that test. And I have so much great stuff from Too Faced that I really want to use, and Pacifica, and all these other palettes that I would rather be using than this. So this is my big project for the year. We'll see how I do. Hopefully I will give you guys updates once a month, hopefully, but I'm not so good on this channel, so we shall see. Anyways, I hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, you can hit the subscribe button so you can kind of follow along and see what ends up happening. If you want to see me really consistently, I have a parenting channel where I do pregnancy updates because I am pregnant right now. That is HeidiKMakeup, and I also have a daily vlogging channel, which is HeidiKMakeup. So all that will be linked down below, along with my Project Pan playlist and all of that stuff. So thanks for watching. Bye. I have a little bit of a haul for you guys. This is all the things that I have bought since the last time we talked, minus one thing because I can't find it. I think I left it at my parents' house.